Good day, students. This is Dr. Jed Casio Tolentino. We'll be discussing writing your research proposal. Research proposal, let's start with your title. What is the issue and problem relationship you want to solve and establish and explore? So, dapat daw, sabi, sa title pa lang daw, alam na natin kung ano yung laman ng paper nyo. So, may mga studies or may mga guidelines na nagsasabi na dapat na meron lamang 12 to 15 words for the title. Pero meron din namang iba na walang limit. For the introduction, what is the general situation and circumstance that makes you develop your research proposal? Ano ba yung purpose mo? Bakit mo ba ito ginawa? So sabi nga natin, for research kasi, di ba dapat ito ay systematic, empirical, controlled critical investigation of hypothetical proposition, and ang mismong goal talaga natin is to improve the quality of life. So, kung mag-improve tayo ng quality of life, paano tayo nakakatulong sa human beings? Yun kasi yung lagi makaka-develop ba tayo ng bagong product? Made-debunk ba natin ang isang myth o ang isang theory na meron na dati? O kailangan ba i-update lang natin yung mga lumang researches into new one? Why is this situation or circumstance important? Next one is, what do you intend to do? This is the aim of your study. It should also be embedded in your main arguments above. Sabi nga natin, we should explore. We should begin with the phenomenon of the interest. Kailangan nandun agad yung interest, yung influence and relationship ng study nyo. And it should describe. Describe yung mga observation, yung ano yung mga dapat natin bilangin or delineate and classify dun sa mga sa magiging study natin. And for those experiment, we should test also the hypothesis, kung yung causality and effect nun, and explain to understand the underpinning of a specific phenomena or yung mga reasons and factors underlying it. For the significance of your research, why is your study important? Bakit to mahalaga, diga? Is the real world concern. Kung ano ba yung specific na ina-address nito in the main problem in your background of study, and who or what industry will benefit. Is it directly sa mga mamamayan or sa mga users or kailangan sa government ang makikinabang? Or anong impact nito sa lives of the many? Or it can contribute to knowledge building. Pwede din yan. What would be the potential contribution or insight of my research? So, laging yun yung aanuhin natin na because of the interest, the research ability, and ethical consideration na meron doon sa paper mo, kailangan yun nga, katulad sabi ko nga kanina, yung impact on the lives of many. Yun talaga yung mini-measure natin dito. Another guide question is, will it solve a particular problem? Will it offer a new way of thinking? So ito dapat yung isa lang alam mo. Will it give a new direction towards enhancement of practice? Will it prove or disprove something? Will it solve or contribute to a certain debate? Will it add evidence to a developing body of knowledge? Will it develop a new theory, prototype, model, process, tool, etc.? Next one is, what are the current relevant topics and literature related to the situation and circumstance? What are the gaps in the existing literature? So, meron kasi tayong tinatawag na gap, blind spot and the blind gap and the black spot. So, ito yung halimbawa may dalawa kayong study na nakita na magkaiba yung sinabi. Yung purpose mo as a researcher is to fill the gap. Ikaw yung magre-research ngayon, alin dun sa dalawang magkaibang opposing research ang effective ngayon based on your study? Or wala pa nag-aral dun sa topic na yun, ikaw pa yung magbibigay. So for your literature review, meron tayong dalawang sources, which are the primary and secondary. Pag sinabing primary is are written by the person. Example, autobiography. Ibig sabihin, ako mismo yung nagsulat galing sa buhay ko. Or, pag sinabi naman natin secondary, this analysis made by another person. So, should be known by the researchers kung yung mga nahanap nilang study or related literature ay primary or secondary sources. In guidelines in reviewing the related literature should be thematic. Pag sinabing thematic, you should choose themes or ano yung mga topic na magiging main focus ng study mo. Ilang theme dapat? So, at least 3 lang. So, what makes your study different from previous studies? Kasama yan. These arguments will demonstrate that you made an extensive literature review and you have made a critical analysis of the literature in relation to your proposed research topic. And the last one, the more gaps you have identified, the stronger your paper is. So, yun yung sinasabi dito. So for your reference, dapat pipili lang kayo ng for the books at least 10 years, journals at least 5 years. So ganun lagi. And also consider the author, year of the study, published, recent literature, and the review. Consider the subject matter. For the scope and limitation, this section says that the restriction of the study due to time, budgetary requirements, and your capability. Hindi masamang sabihin na due to budget, kaya hanggang dito lang yung study nyo. Or due to time requirement, hanggang dito lang yung month na kaya nyo i-research. Kaya hanggang dito lang yung naabot ng research nyo. Hindi masamang ilagay yun sa research para alam din ng reader kung hanggang saan lang ang sakop. Kaya nga siya tinawag na scope and limitation. Alin yung mga hindi kasama. What are the parameters of your study, data collection method, analysis, discussion, etc. For your research methodology for Chapter 3, what is the design of your study? Is it descriptive, evaluative, or theoretical, philosophical, etc.? Who or what will be the sample for your study? Kung ito ba ay simple random sampling, for probability and non-probability, di ba? For probability, you have your simple random sampling or the fishbowl technique. Parang lottery, kukuha ka na lang. For stratified random sampling, divide the groups. For cluster sampling, example, area sampling, bara-barangay, gano'n. For systematic sampling, getting the end, about every 20th of the population yung kukunin mo, or the multi-stage. So, iba-iba din. For non-probability naman, pwedeng non-convenience or nagkataon, nagkatagpo, ganun. Accidental. Yun yung nagbantay ka sa gate ng BSU. Yun, convenience sampling yun. Or quota sampling, nagbantay ka pa rin pero first 100 lang. Yan. Or purposive sampling, may characteristics kung sino lang yung pipiliin mo. And we have the snowball technique, which is the network sampling or the linear sampling na tinatawag. So there are lots of sampling na ginagamit. So ilan, how many, how will you select your sample, how did you choose this sample. Yan. So kailangan gagamit ka ng mga Slovin's formula in determining the sample size. What tool you use in gathering your data? Document analysis, interview and focus group discussions, assessment, surveys, case studies, observation, and statistical data sets. Briefly describe your method supported by reference to research applying the methods similar situations. For ethical issues, think of the circumstances in which your respondents or sample participation will compromise their rights to privacy and confidentiality. Also consider the data gathering method, avoid intrusion, and do not put them at risk. So, sobrang dami ng ethical issues ngayon such as paggamit ng hayop or for the subject of your study or kung mga chemicals, paano mo itatapon or yung mga bacteria, hindi siya pwede basta itapon sa sink. And for human beings naman, hindi rin siya pwede basta i-test. So, you should consider those ethical issues that may arise before, during, and after the conduct of your study. For ethical consideration kasi should be freedom from harm, either physically, psychologically, social, and economic. Freedom from exploitation, kailangan may benefits for the research, and wala ka talagang violation, walang pilitan, walang violation ng coercion or to cover the data collection, mga ganun, or may deception upang niloko mo yung participants para madali mo silang makuhanan ng survey, ganyan. So, kailangan voluntarism, kailangan ay willing talaga yung mga tao or yung mga subject or respondents na mag-undergo ng study na gusto talaga nila. Consider your respondents. Do you need to obtain informed consent from the parents or the DSWD and other agencies? Do you need to get the name of your respondents? Or do you need to label your subjects or schools, barangays, regions, ganun. Or baka mamaya kapag ibang school to mag-cause ng backfire dun sa school na yun or sa barangay or sa region na yun. So you should consider that. For the data analysis, how would you analyze your data? Briefly describe your data analysis technique supported by references to research applying the analysis in similar situations.